Anyone who watches my videos knows that I've been a believer in Michael Jackson hoaxing his death, that he's still alive, and that there's a higher purpose for all of this. The other day I had the opportunity to spend part of the day and part of the evening with people who really believe he's dead, and that it was murder, that it was more than just negligence on the doctor's part, and that big corporations were behind it, that it comes down to a money thing. So after the courthouse, the people that I had met and been spending time with, and I enjoyed my time with them immensely, we all went down together to the Lucy Florence, where Eddie Jones and Geraldine Hughes was hosting an event. By the time I got there, my camera battery was dying, so I could only video small segments of what was going on, but I took notes, and I'm going to factually deliver some of what I wrote down, and then I'm going to slant those same facts. And if you think I've been weird before, you ain't seen nothing yet. I'm really jumping off the deep end on this one. He made this statement, and I think it was talking about when you're, I think he was talking about magic and the magic trick that he was getting he was trying to get Majestic to perform. But he said, believe nothing of what you see. He also talked about the news article that came out the day before where Joe Jackson had criticized Katherine Jackson, and he pointed out that they walked in together, and that we should keep in mind, well, as he put it, have you ever heard of the phrase divide and conquer? So there could be like the Joe Jackson and the Katherine Jackson conflicts that happen in the media, and there's also the two camps, the conspiracy murder and the did he hoax his death camp. And with all this media attention, maybe finally, I don't know, we'll get the message. Brian Oxman has filed a civil lawsuit, or will be filing a civil lawsuit. I guess you have up to 1 year, so they have to do it before June 25th. If he hasn't done it already, then he will be shortly. That there was something going on as far as the ticket sales for those concerts in the UK last year. Some sort of, well, it seems like it seems like a ticket scalping scam that MJ found out about and called them on, and he just threw it out there. Now let me forewarn you, I've been on cephalexin for the past few days now. I need to get surgery done, and anyhow, one of the side effects of cephalexin is hallucinations. So please keep that in mind, and show a little compassion. So Eddie Jones talked about how one more time setting the trial date has been delayed to August 23rd. And he said the way this is going, this thing can go on to 2012. Where have we heard that before? And then he kept talking about maybe we can get Majestic to do one of his magic tricks. So when Majestic finally got up to do his magic trick, it involved a napkin, one napkin that he placed in the palm of his hands, and a piece of it went this way, a piece of it went that way. Two different people were holding either sides of it, and he set it on fire. And it was burning, but he said, it isn't burning enough. We need to let it burn. And then, after it did its simmering thing, he went like that, and the napkin was in one piece. It wasn't damaged or destroyed at all. The napkin was whole and in one piece. And just a few things about Majestic. He was telling a story about how Michael saved this baby bird. And he said, Michael wouldn't hurt anybody. I know him. I knew him. Why would you even correct yourself unless you were conscious that you should be correcting yourself? And then he was trying to make his way out of there, and I followed him to the next room, but the door was still open, and Eddie Jones was talking into a microphone. So you really couldn't hear. I was trying to keep it low, but I wanted to ask him, what was the story with E. Casanova writing that goodbye letter in 2007? How it was on the internet, and how we thought the possibility that maybe he died, and I was getting too wordy, and he kept saying, what? It could have been a mechanism to avoid where I was going, and it could have been for real that he couldn't hear what I was saying. But finally I said, is E. Casanova dead? And he said, no, I just talked to him today. So, and then I said, can you tell me why the family isn't addressing the death hoax community? And again with the what? And I don't think he ever really did get what I was asking, because there are people who aren't even aware that we're around. But he said something to the effect of they have to watch what they say for legal reasons. I read in a book once where I think it was Charlie Chaplin had entered a look-alike contest of Charlie Chaplin, and he came in third place. And in both of the videos that I've done in the past few days, more journalistic style than my normal vlogging style, I really highlighted somebody named Gower, who at the court you see him with very short hair, and then when he's at Lucy Florence he's got the MJ wig on. And the only reason I want to bring this up is because wouldn't it be wild if MJ was alive and in disguise as an MJ wannabe out in the open in full view like that? And the only reason it crossed my mind, I've mentioned before that I think I'm an empath. I think I pick up on different people's energies. I don't think I can read their minds. I don't have aura type things going on with other people. But sometimes I sense energy. And I was funneling out of the courthouse in a crowd of people, and I sensed an energy beside me that was on a different vibration. And I looked over, and it was this guy Gower. And it was before I noticed him wearing a glove and trying to be an MJ wannabe. Then when we were at the Lucy Florence, as I was leaving, I shook his hand, and I sensed that vibration or energy again, to the point where in my head I wanted to hit him and call him a schmuck for doing all this, because it really felt like MJ. I looked at his face and it didn't look like MJ. You've seen it on the video. But wouldn't it be wild? Now let me take it to another level. So I researched Gower, what that meant. And I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, so I'm not familiar with the characters. But apparently this Gower was a character And the one sentence I want to read about Gower is that Gower was the only member of the conspiracy to escape alive.